Now here's your host, Jason Bible.
Hot mics.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hope everybody's doing good. It's Monday. Who's got a case of the Mondays? Who's at a job they don't want to be at? If you haven't seen Office Space in a while, you need to. Yeah, if you could come in on Saturday, that'd be great. All right, guys. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. We talk about investing in real estate, practical real estate investing. I want to start today's show off with what you don't know can hurt you. What you don't know can hurt you, especially in the long term. Give you a recap of the weekend. Pretty fun weekend for us. Of course, you guys noticed in Houston, it kind of rained there. Friday, Saturday, it's kind of rainy. We had some kids over at the house. We did a little bike ride and we cleaned the house up, did some other stuff. Picked up some furniture. Got a new desk for the office. It's sitting in the back of the truck. So just did a lot of that kind of stuff. Carson has been collecting, Carson's our youngest son, has been collecting egg cartons. And he's doing something where he's growing plants in egg cartons. I don't know. So he's out in the backyard making a huge mess, putting these things and these seeds in these egg cartons. Anyway, so we got all that stuff going on. I got to read a little bit of real estate investing news and some investing news. And I came across this article that I have talked about before, but I want to talk about it again because I think it's important, and not everybody's here on the same day for the show. So comes from a website called darkbid.com. That's dark, DARK-bid.com. If y'all don't know what a dark bid is, you can Google search that. You really start, I'll tell you this. There are a lot of folks out there that teach how to do stock market trading and all that stuff. That's all fine and dandy. But there's an underbelly of what goes on in those capital markets. Dark bid alludes to that, and you might want to investigate that. I really wish, someday that our markets really were transparent, and fair, and all that other stuff. But they're really not all fair and transparent. And this cryptocurrency stuff. I saw an article this past weekend. Maybe it was like Friday and the weekend. There was a hack of the equivalent of $500 million pulled out of one of the exchanges. And then there was a physical robbery. But I thought Bitcoin was, I didn't think you could, there was not like a physical currency. You can't steal it. Yeah, you actually can. So there was an actual physical robbery of a couple $100 million, and then there was a hack of another $500 million. And so I think all those cryptocurrency folks are all starting to learn their lessons right now, that this stuff is not as secure as they thought it was. It's not. I mean, you really want to get down to it. It's kind of like the gold bugs back in, mid-2000s. And one of the things that all the gold investors would say is, look, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. If you don't have the physical, you don't own it. And I'll tell you, part of that is one of the great things about owning real estate. Nobody could steal real estate. When we really get down to it, nobody could steal it. You own it free and clear, and you're paying the taxes on it, you'll owe it forever. Even if, this is my favorite, when people ask me, oh my gosh, Jason, they just start hyperventilating. What's going on in the market, Jason? What happens when the market crashes? Is there a bubble? It's a bubble. It's a bubble. And I'm like, do you know what a bubble is? I mean, first of all, you know what a bubble really is. People, they get, Jason, prices have been rising. It's going to be a bubble. Well, let me ask you this. How long have you been at your job? Well, I've been doing the same job for about the last 10 years. Well, do you get paid more than you did 10 years ago? Yeah. Is your job in a bubble? No one ever thinks about that. I started out as a junior engineer making $80,000 a year, and now I'm making a quarter. It's like, have you ever thought, is your job in a bubble? Well, no. It's just I'm worth more now because I'm more valuable because I got better skill sets and I've got more experience and maybe I've got a graduate degree. And next thing I'll ask is, you don't think the same thing happens in single-family housing? Well, what do you mean? Well, what drives the value in single-family housing? Biggest contributor are jobs. Texas literally drug the nation out of the recession. Texas did. One state. I mean, if there were no Texas when Barack Obama was president, I think you would have gotten people with pitchforks out in the front lawn of the White House. I mean, I really think that's what would have happened. Because people were moving here because there were opportunities. There were not a lot of opportunities in other states. There just weren't. Obviously, there was some in the tech sector, but that's pretty small. I mean, there was a massive amount of growth here. I mean, Obama ought to be thanking Texas for keeping his presidency from turning into absolute bedlam. I mean, that's a whole nother discussion. Congress, too. I know we had a Republican Congress for at least the last 4 years of his 2 years of his presidency, but I mean, you want to talk about what saved the union was Texas and the job growth that happened here. So when you've got job growth that's going on in one particular area, what happens? Well, the value of real estate increases. In fact, there's this really weird, we're in this really weird market right now, in that the value of real estate is increasing, but new home construction relative to where it was 10 years ago really hasn't caught back up. And the new homes that are being constructed or built are not being built for that median home price. They're not being built for the homeowner, the first-time homeowner. They're really higher-end houses. My wife and I were zipping around Sugar Land this weekend. In fact, we were over in New Territory, if you guys are familiar with that. We were doing a little bike loop over there. Was checking out the older and the newer sections of New Territory, riding around. And in New Territory, I mean, what's the cheapest house in New Territory now? Is it $300? $350? I don't even know. I mean, you want to talk about affordable, there's no more affordable housing. So when someone says to me, well, Jason, I mean, price keeps going up, price keeps going up, there's going to be a bubble. It's all going to explode. And I'm like, okay, well, where are you getting that information from? Well, just because prices are rising. Okay, well, you want to talk about where prices have risen the most in any industry? There's two of them. And the government is heavily involved in them. And nobody seems to bat an eye at writing a check for this. Education. Look at the price of education. It has gotten ridiculous, in part because it's wholly government subsidized. You take away that government cheese, and I guarantee you prices in education will normalize. But nobody ever talks about the education bubble. No, they're worried about how do they send little Johnny and little Susie to college. But nobody ever says, hey, is there a bubble in education? By the way, that answer is unequivocally yes, there is. I can do a whole separate hour show 5 days a week on the problems of higher education. I could tell you that for an absolute fact. In fact, for those of you who are listening to the show, maybe a little bit younger, we don't tend to a younger demographic here. But I'll tell you, if you're not going for science, technology, engineering, or math, STEM, I'd be real hesitant to go to college, unless you've got like a full ride or something. Someone's writing a check for it. Otherwise, it might not make sense. Those of you who are going for engineering, math, any of that other stuff, you will never be unemployed. Practically never. You still have to do a good job. You still got to do a lot of good networking. But you're never going to be structurally unemployed, where literally you cannot find a job because that doesn't exist anymore. One of our babysitters is on a full ride at U of H for electrical engineering. And I told her, I said, you'll never have to look for a job again. She goes, I'm killing myself. I'm working. You know, when she comes over to babysit the boys, really, she's kind of there just make sure they don't burn the house down. But we'll come home and she'll have books all over the kitchen table or the dining room table. It's all books.
2 minutes.
And I look at my wife and I'm like, does this look familiar? And she goes, yeah. And you could tell, you chat with her. What are your friends doing tonight? Oh, they're out partying, having a good time. I'm here studying. I do this 7 days a week is all I do. I said, well, you're going to have a great career. Now, let's go back to the premise of the show. Just because prices are rising doesn't mean that it's in a bubble. I mean, you really want to get into prices are rising? I'll look at the earnings per share. I will look at the PE ratios for the S&P right now. I want to say it's at 28.5, 30. I mean, it's at historic highs. Everything's at historic highs. Some of it has to do with the amount of money that's in the system. There's absolutely some inflationary forces at work. However, there's some stuff that's just rising in price because it's rising in price.
1 minute.
Because there's more people that want to live in a house. Do you know that to live on planet Earth, you don't have to own an equity? You don't have to own a bond? But you probably want to live in a house. That would be my guess. Everyone wants to live in a house. We get back from the break. I want to talk about what you don't know is probably hurting you. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
AC/DC is always a go on this radio show program.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the
What's going on,
US?
Daniel?
Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender, NMLS 514497. As a real estate investor, you rely on your property inspector to determine the current condition of the home and your potential return on investment. Principal Inspections was founded by investor Jeremy Humphrey to do just that. Working from the investor's point of view, Principal Inspections will give you turnkey inspections that are high quality, affordable, and focused on information pertinent to investors while not clouding the report with unnecessary details. Founder Jeremy Humphrey comes from a family of real estate investors. He started Principal Inspections for investors because as an investor himself, he experienced the need for fast, quality inspections with information directly pertaining to property condition and potential resale value. Principal Inspections will save you time and money. Call Principal Inspections, 832-684-5516. That's 832-684-5516. Or go online to principalinspections.com. That's principalinspections.com. License number 21264.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general
1 minute.
contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, Jay, hot mics.
All right. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. On Facebook here, trying to sort out an issue with my pellet smoker. It's just... Guys, I'll tell you what, little pro tip. This is a free one today. If you got a big green egg, don't ever get anything else. Just don't. I'm just telling you right now. Once you've gone big green egg, you can't go back. There's none of these other things work. Just big green egg. That's all I'm gonna leave it right there for you guys that smoke meat. It's just big green egg or nothing. If you got a really sweet offset, stick with that. But once you go big green egg, you cannot go back. Anyways, going back and forth with a buddy of mine that this pellet smoker thing. He's having problems with his. I'm having problems with mine. Anyway, so solving the world's issues here on the radio. Let's go back to increasing in asset values. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh my gosh, Jason, I mean, prices are increasing, Jason. That means there's a bubble. There's a bubble." This weekend on Saturday in particular, Tom and I were fielding, Friday and Saturday, we were fielding a bunch of phone calls from students of ours that are in our one-on-one group. And if you're in our one-on-one for base camp, you have Tom and I's cell phone number. And you can contact us anytime if you're working on a deal. And so typically we tell them, hey, look, we can get back to folks pretty quickly inside of 24 hours. But a lot of times we just pick up the phone and call them as soon as they text. So we had some students of ours doing some deals. And one of the deals we were looking at, or he was looking at, was a deal out in Katy. And he said, hey, I think ARV on this thing's 160. And we were talking about appreciation. And I said, look, why don't you do this? Go into Matrix, because he was surfing around in Matrix, which is the back end of HAR. And I said, look at houses starting, the sales price ending at 365 days all the way back to like 1,800 days. So what does that mean? That means houses that sold more than a year ago, between a year and like 5 or 6 years. That's really what I want to see. How much did those houses sell for on the same street a year to 5 years ago? And we started looking at houses comparing similar square footages. It was fascinating. 3 and 4 years ago, there were cash sales at $90,000. So let me explain what comps look like. When you guys are looking at comps and trying to determine the value of a piece of real estate, the floor in that market, in other words, the lowest it will go, the floor in that market is when cash buyers step in and say, I'll buy all of that at that price. That's the floor of a market. That's how you can tell the floor of a real estate market. We will find that market in multifamily, guarantee you. When it falls, cash buyers will step in and say, yeah, I want all of those. I want 150 units and above, Class C. I'll buy it all at $30,000 a door. Bring it. I'll buy it all. Cash. Now, truthfully, in most cases, they're not using cash, but they got an enormous fund. They're being backed by big banks, something like that. And they'll go in. Sometimes they do it just personally. They got a lot of money. Could have hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Or they represent a family. We actually see that a lot on the small commercial side. We see family trusts that have got tens of millions, in some cases hundreds of millions of dollars. They'll go in and buy stuff on behalf of a family. So let's go back to single family. The floor in a real estate market are when those buyers step in with cash and they buy everything and get their hands on. Well, 5 years ago in Katy, that was $80,000-$90,000. So when someone says, well, Jason, what's the house worth? Well, I can tell you what it's worth at a distressed sale. It's when cash buyers step in. That same house that was bought for $80,000 or $90,000 cash was also bought by a homeowner who was using a 30-year mortgage at about $119,000. So what does that mean? It means that investors are there at $80,000 or $90,000, and homeowners are buying at $118,000, $119,000, $120,000. So where's the retail market? The retail market is about $119K. Fast forward 4 years later, what is that? What is a similar house on that same street selling for? $160,000. 119 to 160 is $41,000. That single family house in 4 years appreciated $41,000. And the question is why? Why did that little house in Katy go from $119,000 to $160,000? Part of it's supply and part of it's demand. Supply. They're not making, the world, the real estate industry, are not making houses below $200,000 anymore. There are none. Virtually none. Less than 10% of new home construction is less than $200,000. That will continue to decline. There is no more affordable housing being built in the city of Houston. There's just not. Just not. We sell 10,000 houses a month on and off MLS in the greater Houston MSA. And about 16,000 of those, maybe 1,000 a month, if that, or less, new construction. I mean, there's virtually no new construction going on in this market. And less than 10% of that are houses below $200,000. You're talking about a few hundred houses a month out of 10,000 that are new construction below $200,000. It's like you just start moving the decimal over to the left. So if demand is constant and supply is shrinking, what happens to prices? They increase. Next question. Sharp people will catch on to this. They'll say, well, Jason, if they can't afford to build new houses, is there an environment in the future in which you'll be able to build new houses for less than $200,000? And the only scenario I could see that happening in is if there is massive deflation. I mean, unheard of deflation. And you can Google search deflation and what that would do to the U.S. economy. The last problem we would have is housing. I can tell you right now. It would be pure bedlam in the international markets. I mean, imagine the stock market deflation. So funny. All the Bitcoin guys, and mostly it's guys I see that invest in Bitcoin. That's why I call them the Bit Bros. It's the same crowd that thinks they'll invest in Bitcoin and get a Lamborghini by the end of the month. I call them the Bit Bros. I think it's funny when the Bit Bros think a 50% reduction in value is a price correction. You had a 50% price correction on the S&P, people would be jumping out the windows in New York and in Chicago. I mean, that's not a price correction. That's a complete collapse of the market. Let's go back to the single-family house in Katy. So, Jason, is it possible that more inventory of houses less than $200,000 can come on the market? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. Where? They can't afford to build them. The materials are too expensive. The labor's too expensive. Land. Anybody's got land around Houston? Just about anywhere in Texas at this point? That cheap land is not cheap anymore unless you go way out of the city. Way out. It's not like it was 10 years ago when we had this construction boom starting in 2003, 2004 that ended in 07, 08. It's not like it was 10 years ago. You literally have to go out in the middle of nowhere to get cheap land. Otherwise, you're going to be buying the remaining plots. And they're not cheap. And the ones that they do buy, they're not putting $200,000 houses on. So we have a constraint in supply. Now let's look at demand. Demand for housing is mostly predicated on one thing, and that's job creation. For every 2 jobs created, 1 house is bought. For every 2 jobs, you get 1 house. Pretty simple math. And Houston has been adding a lot of jobs. You got a lot of people coming here. Here's the other flip side of that coin. We've had a lot of people coming to Houston in the last 10 years that were not mortgage ready. In other words, their credit was beat up. They didn't have the cash. Whatever it was, they were not in a financial situation, a financial position that allowed them to buy a single-family house. And you know what? Now they have. Now they are. Those people who've been in those apartments for 4, 5, 6 years can now afford to buy a single-family house, even though prices have risen. I called a buddy of mine when all the oil stuff started to collapse about 1.5 years ago. Called a buddy of mine, it's a real estate agent up in Midland. And I said, hey, man, this might be the time to go buy some stuff in Midland. Market's collapsing. I mean, people are going to be losing their houses. And he said, you know, it's not really that bad. He said, we've had pent-up demand for so long that there is some reshuffling of the deck. Some people are moving away. But, I mean, we got people living in man camps. We got people hot bunking. So they got to have somewhere to go. And that's almost what's happening here in Houston. Get back from a break. We're going to talk more about what you don't know can hurt you. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
As a real estate investor, you rely on your property inspector to determine the current condition of the home and your potential return on investment from an investor's point of view. Principal Inspections was founded by investor Jeremy Humphrey to do just that. Principal Inspections works from the investor's point of view, providing affordable, fast, quality inspections with information pertinent to investors while not clouding the report with unnecessary details. Principal Inspections will save you time and money. Call Principal Inspections, 832-684-5516 or online at principalinspections.com. License number 21264.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS 514497.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction through asset protection for real estate investors throughout the country. Our unique philosophy has CPAs, lawyers, bookkeepers, and estate planners with one common goal, helping you, the real estate investor. Check us out today at AndersonAdvisors.com, and don't forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
All right, Mr. Bible, hot mic.
All right. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. I'm actually giving some advice here. Someone's having a little problem buying some houses. I'm going to see if I can help them out here on Facebook. Man, there's plenty of deals out there, I can tell you that. And the appreciation is just out of control. Why are these houses appreciating? Problem is, if you look at nationwide numbers, they'll say, well, the markets are appreciating because there's all this foreign money coming into real estate. That's true in what I like to call your international markets. That's your LA, San Diego, Seattle, New York, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, but not really Atlanta. Those big international markets attract international dollars. It's the equivalent of Americans saying, "Oh, I want to go invest in Paris." Or you know what? I was kind of getting tired of Houston. I want to go invest in Tokyo. It's an economic stratosphere well above our own. I mean, it's the equivalent of single-family real estate investor landing a man on the moon. I mean, it's so far removed from regular real estate, from just normal mom and pop real estate, which is really what we do. So in those markets, they have enormous problems with these price fluctuations. I had to add San Francisco to that, the Bay Area. All that is a mess. You know what's funding all those real estate deals right now? Are all the IPOs. All these young guys that got into, well, Google's a little bit older, but got into Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat. And I mean, when they get into these little businesses that then get thrown hundreds of millions of dollars, you got a 29-year-old kid that gets a $5, $6, $8, $10 million payday and they want to live close to the office. What do you think is going to happen to real estate? And it's not like a small business that gets bought out. I mean, a small business that gets bought out, typically the owner, their number one sales guy or gal, are the ones that are going to get a check. It's a completely different game when you've got 1,000 employees that go from, a middle class income to millions overnight, and they all want to live close to the office because they don't plan on leaving anytime soon. So that has an enormous impact on real estate inside that little microcosm. Is that a bubble? I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I can tell you. I know the stuff where, here's where I start to get nervous. When people start getting loans that we know they can't afford the loan. Let's just get real honest for a second here. This is an adult program. We talk about adult stuff, building businesses and all that other stuff. The people that, quote, got duped into buying houses they couldn't afford, did they really get duped? I mean, you knew you couldn't afford this house. That's why you were so excited when you bought it. You knew you couldn't afford it. I mean, let's get real honest. You know you can't afford a 4,000 square foot house, $800,000 mortgage, and you make $100,000 a year. Well, you know you can't do that. Let's get honest here. When those people are able to buy houses, that's what I know we're at the top. Or when we have investors that come into our market that just buy houses and never put anyone into them, they're buying vacant houses and they're not putting anybody into them, they're not flipping them just to park money. That's when I know we'll be at a peak. And that is happening in some of those markets. We know it's happening in and around King County. Build a house, $3-4 million bucks. They send that check over there, and they never live in the house. They're literally just it's Chinese buyers are literally parking money because they can't get money out of China fast enough. Because China's doing so great, right? That's what's so funny. I'll tell you, and I talk about a lot about this at the weekend retreat. One of the best mottos I've got is I never listen to what people say, ever. Don't listen to what they say. I watch what they do. Chinese market is fascinating. You got the Chinese government, Chinese companies telling you that everything's peachy keen, yet they have a huge problem with capital outflows. They're putting capital restrictions on their citizens. I was out to lunch one day with a couple of our private lenders. They're almost mentors at this point too for Tom and I. And we were talking about capital flows and what's going on around international markets. And they know guys all over the world that invest in all kinds of crazy stuff. And they all get together every now and then or talk on the phone. And so one of the things they were telling me about is they said, you'll have to start to you'll become really nervous in the United States as an investor when they outlaw private measures of CPI, Consumer Price Index. When private entities, private individuals are no longer allowed to publish their own data as it relates to Consumer Price Index, inflation, that sort of thing. And I thought, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Because if I don't know what's going on in the underlying asset, what's driving its value, then I can't make a very astute, a very informed investment decision. If you want to go back and review all the different changes that have been made to the CPI over the years, it's just another number the government manipulates, much like unemployment. But let's go back to the premise of the show. Is single-family real estate overvalued? And I keep looking at these markets, and I'm like, I don't. Now, I'm talking about houses below $200,000. $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 houses, $1 million houses. I'm going to put a post up sometime this week on my Facebook page about square footage inflation. And I want to talk about square footage inflation and why that's not a great thing. But if you're buying houses below $200,000, little rental properties in Katy, Texas, in Cypress, in Sugar Land, in Missouri City, in Pearland, in Kingwood, in the Woodlands, in Spring, if you're buying those same houses in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin, and San Antonio, heck, I'd even throw a long ball down there to my friends down in the valley I think there's a lot of money to be made in the Valley. And the Valley is kind of like a secret right now. So sorry, guys, that I've met with down there in the Valley. I just blew your cover. I think there's a lot of money to be made down in the Valley. But it's affordable housing. There's no more affordable housing. There's none. Where's the affordable housing? I would love for somebody to explain to me, put on my Facebook page, call on the radio show Wednesday when Tom and I are on the show. But I would love to hear someone tell me where the affordable housing is. In fact, the only way the starter home, which is the Katy house, the Cypress house, the Woodlands house, whatever, below $200,000, the only way that house decreases in value is when one of two things happens. Massive deflation, or all of these municipalities around here, all the cities and states and counties, allow mass construction of mobile home parks. Because mobile home is really the only affordable option for single-family home buyers to own something. Otherwise, it's rental properties. Otherwise, they're going to rent. So unless all these little municipalities around here start allowing the new construction of mobile home parks, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I can't see that happen because one is a total mindset shift because, quote, no one wants to live near a mobile home park. Which, truth be told, you guys are going to be shocked about this. I think mobile homes are actually built better than single-family houses. But that's for a whole different show.
2 minutes.
So unless we hit a massive deflationary event or we start building a whole lot of mobile home parks, the price of single-family houses below $200,000, heck, you could probably ratchet that up to below $400,000, are going to continue to rise. Now, what's going to be interesting is we know 4 rate hikes are coming this year. I've talked to enough lenders and bankers in the industry. They said they're already pricing them into their loans. 4 rate hikes are coming this year. So what is that going to do? That may slow the rate of growth or it may accelerate it. As rates rise, banks and other borrowers, other lenders, people who invest in that paper, who buy that paper, are willing to take more risks. So rising rates, I think, are a great thing for single family, especially for those of you who are flippers.
1 minute.
Because it's quite possible that we may be headed into an accelerated housing boom by appreciation, not by construction. We'll see. We'll know by the end of 2018, into 2019. Now, remember, in Houston, we have to weigh that with the impact of Hurricane Harvey. So I do think we got a lot of pent-up inventory from Hurricane Harvey. We get back in the break. We're going to talk more about single-family real estate. It's Jason Bible. We're Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know, the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, the invisible investor strategy today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path Real Estate.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825.
Hey, Randy, we haven't
Or you
picked
can reach
anybody
us
yet.
online at
We're just waiting for, I need to
foundationcheck.com.
mention on today's
That's
show.
Foundationcheck.
Probably Friday. I bet we'll announce it Friday. Just want to make sure
Time
folks
is
got
money
plenty
in real estate
plenty of time to
business.
respond.
If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are small returns getting in
30
the way of your
seconds.
retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
Hot mics.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Forgot to mention today's show. We'll mention it now. If you're someone who signed up with for real estate education with somebody, some real estate guru that you paid $20,000 or more, and you're not getting the results that you want, I want you to send an email to Veronica, who is at support@RightPathRealEstate. Support@RightPathRealEstate. And we're going to take 5 or 6 of y'all, put you in a room, and Tom and I are going to go around the room and fix what you think is the biggest problem in your business. Again, these are for folks that have spent at least $20,000 or more in real estate education. And we want you to send an email to support@RightPathRealEstate. And we're going to get together. We don't have the dates yet. We want to interview everybody that has submitted so far. We're going to look at your emails and give you a call. And then we're going to get together. And we're going to pick a night where everybody can get together here at our offices in Houston. We've had folks fly in for this thing from out of state. So shoot an email to support@RightPathRealEstate, and we'll put that meeting together. But it's for those folks who've spent some big bucks on real estate education and have not gotten what they needed to be successful. So if this is the first time you're listening to a show or you want to learn how to do real estate, Jason, is there like a free class you guys do or a little workshop, something like that? And we do. It's this Thursday. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can sign up there. And we go through it's a whole introductory workshop, about 90 minutes. We talk about why traditional retirement doesn't work, how do you build a real estate portfolio. We talk about rehabbing. We give you some free gifts. It's a cool show. I'll tell you that right now. It's we like to call it edutainment. You'll be entertained. It's not going to be boring. I can tell you that right now. 90 minutes introductory free workshop on real estate investing, all in single family. So if you've ever thought about getting into real estate, you watch the HGTV shows, you watch the, or whatever all those shows are. We're watching one right now that I actually like. It's the Hometown one, which is kind of cool. But in any case, if you've watched those shows, always want to learn how to get into real estate, just go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can sign up there, and we'll see you this Thursday. Tom will be in studio tomorrow, Build Your Team Tuesday, and then he and I will both be in studio Wednesday morning. So you get the duo Wednesday morning. I want to thank all you guys for listening. Happy investing. Go out there, buy some houses. Now's the time. Buy some houses, build that wealth. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Jay, have a good day.
All right, thank you, man. We'll see you.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Jason and Tom at rightpathrealestate.com.